I have already taken two classes on chapter 16. So today I am here and I am going to take a class chapter on chapter 16. And I think you all know the name of the chapter 16. The name of the chapter is some of the social problems of Bangladesh and their remedies. Okay. So before the start of my class, let's have a look on the screen of our today's running outcome. Okay. So after the class, you will be able to say about child labor. Then you will be able to describe the causes of child labor. Then you will be able to describe the ways of prevention of child labor. Number four, you will be able to legal steps to prevent child labor. Number five, you will be able to say about juvenile delinquency. And number six, you will be able to describe the causes and the ways of prevention of juvenile delinquency. Okay, so these are the today's learning outcomes of our today's class. Okay, boys, let's get started of our today's class. So first of all, child labor. Before starting to talk about child labor, I would like to give the definitions of labor. Okay. Basically, labor means physical and mental ability to do something or to produce anything. So this is the definition of labor. So what is called the child labor? Child labor means the exploitations of the children through any types of work that deprives children from their childhood. Again, I am going to give the definitions of child labor. Child labor means exploitations of the children through any types of works that deprives children from their childhood. Now I am going to show you the definitions of child labor. Okay, so this is very important question for your upcoming examinations. What is called the child labor? So this is the definitions of the child labor. Child labor refers to the exploitations of the children through any form of work that deprives children of their childhood, interferes their ability to attend regular school, and is mentally, physically, socially, and morally harmful. Okay, so this is the definition of child labor. Okay. Now I am going to talk about the causes of child labor. First of all, poverty. Okay, poverty is the main reason, basically one of the main reasons of child labor in perspective of Bangladesh, and due to the poverty, many children have to work for running themselves or have to work to run their family. Okay. Number two, poor living standard. The living standard of Bangladesh is not good at all. Okay, due to the poor living standard, okay, many parents sent their children to work for earning money. Okay, so this is one of the causes of child labor. Then high literacy rate. Yes, this is one of the causes of child labor, and most of the parents, especially in rural areas, are not aware about the bad effects of child labor. So they send their children to do work for earning money for their family. Okay. And number four, lack of law. Okay, and to protect child labor, and you need strict law which will be imposed by the government. But in our country, we can see the running law is I think it doesn't work properly to stop the child labor. So this is one of the causes of child labor. Number five, high cost of education. Okay. Uh, in our country, primary education is free for all, but to continue the education, it is not achievable. Okay, and you have to pay money to achieve or to earn educations from the educational institutions. So this is this is one of the hinders that's why children are bound to do work for earning money. And number six, lack of consciousness. Due to the lack of consciousness, many parents send their children to do work, okay, or at the same time, we are not aware about the bad sides, about the impacts of the child labors in long run. So these are the causes of child labor in perspective of Bangladesh. Okay. Now I am going to talk about the national laws to prevent child labor. Okay, and to prevent child labor, Bangladesh government has enacted an act, and the name of this act is the Bangladesh Labor Act 2006. Okay, now I am going to make understand you about the Bangladesh Labor Act 2006. Okay, number one. According to the law, our children age under 14 will not be able to do work. Okay. Number two, yes, and age under 14 to 18 will be counted as adolescent period. Okay, in perspective of Bangladesh. And number three, okay, a child under 14 will not be employed. Okay, that means 14 age, age of children is 14 years. Okay, according to the law of Bangladesh, of children is 14 years. Okay, now I'm going to the number four. Okay, adolescent cannot work only to run himself. Can or only himself. Yes. Uh, Permission run himself or herself. So this is the thing. Okay. Number five, for an adolescent, work time is okay. I think this is very easy to understand. Okay. And number six, uh, work. Okay. In emergency cases, a child of 12 years can do. So these are the legal things to protect child labors from our society. Okay. Now I am going to talk about some legal steps to protect child labor. First of all, okay, the Constitution of Bangladesh, Article 17, free and compulsory primary education. I think you all know about Constitution, and you know Constitution is the highest law of a state. Okay, and by the constitutions we can know the relationship between and government. Okay, and here I want to inform you on thing with you. There are 153 articles of our constitutions. Among 153 articles, article 70 has said about free and compulsory education. Okay, and in our country primary education is and free for all children of our country. Okay, so this is one of the legal steps to protect child labor. And number two, the Bangladesh Labor Act 2016. Okay, and Bangladesh government has enacted an act named the Bangladesh Labor Act 2006. Okay, and by this act, by this act, the government is trying to protect child labor. And number three, the National Child Labor Prevention Policy 2010. Okay, so this is another step of our government to protect child labor, and by this policy, basically government is trying to implement the previous law. That means the Bangladesh Labor Act 2006. And number four, Okay, the United Nations Conventions of 1989. Okay, and United Nation, I think you know, and it has first conventions on child rights in 1989, and Bangladesh ratified this convention in 1990. That means here ratified means recognize or accept this law. Okay, thank you very much. Now I am going to talk about the juvenile delinquency. Okay. So what is called juvenile delinquency? Okay. Juvenile delinquency means the violations of the laws of the society by the adolescents. Okay, age 16 for the boys and 18 for the girls. Okay, and you have to underline. You have to give attention on this line. Okay, again I am going to give the definitions of juvenile delinquency. Juvenile delinquency means the violations of the laws of the society by the adolescents age 16 for the boys and age 18 for the girls. Okay, on the other hand we can say the act of participating in an unlawful behavior as minor. Okay, so this is the definitions of juvenile delinquency. Okay, now I am going to show the definition, these two definition to you. Okay, so that means the violations of laws of the society by the adolescents is below 16 years of age for the boys and 18 years for girls is called the juvenile delinquency. On the other hand, juvenile delinquency is the act of participating in unlawful behavior as minors. Okay, so dear students, now I am going to give some examples of juvenile delinquency. Say for example, smoking, teasing, hijacking, gang cultures. Okay, and all are the examples of juvenile delinquencies. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about those who are juvenile delinquents. Okay, so adolescents who participate in different types, who participate in juvenile delinquencies. That means who violates the rules of juvenile delinquents. Okay. According to the United Nations Convention on Child Rights, all persons below 18 years of age are treated as children. Okay, and they will be counted if any child violate any laws of the society. Okay, he will be counted as juvenile delinquent. Okay, and according to Bangladesh Children Act 1974, every person under 16 years of age is child. Okay, so according to the Children Act 1974, if any child is under 16 is related is violate any rules and regulation of the society or do any crime, will be counted as juvenile delinquent. So this is all about the juvenile delinquents. Okay, so now I am going to talk about the causes of juvenile delinquency in our society. First of all, bad social environment. Okay. Okay, due to the bad social environment, a child can be can, a child can be derailed. Okay, and you know, for the social for the smooth socializations. Okay, the social good social environment is very important. Okay, so due to the bad social environment, a child can be derailed, and this is one of the causes of juvenile delinquency. Number two, poverty. Okay, like Child labor, poverty is one of the causes of juvenile delinquency. Due to the poverty, many children can participate in many antisocial activities of our society. And number three, deprivations of rights. So here you have to understand what is called rights. Basically, rights are the privileges given by the government for the flourishment of the individuals. Okay, so and all the children of our country don't get equal rights from the society, from the state. Okay, basically the children of the slum in an urban area, okay, don't get enough privileges from the society. Okay, and this can be one of the causes of juvenile delinquency. Number four, human trafficking. In my last class, I have talked about the human trafficking. Basically, human trafficking means sending people one country to another country in illegal process. Okay, due to the human trafficking, children can be bound to do many antisocial activities. And number five, deprivations from education. Okay, education is one of the fundamental. For getting education is one of the fundamental rights for a child. But all the children of our country don't get equal education or get the opportunity to take educations. Okay, so deprivations from educations can be one of the causes of juvenile delinquency in perspective of Bangladesh. Number six, lack of control of parents. Okay, this is very important and vital point. Okay, here if parents don't give attention on the activities of the children, okay, and their children can be derailed, and their children can be done any antisocial activities. Okay, so the lack of control of parents can be one of the causes of juvenile delinquency. Number seven, institutions of bad culture. Institution of bad cultures means a strong culture or influential culture dominates relatively less strong culture. Say for example, the Indian culture, the Hindi culture influences our Bengali cultures. Okay, so this is called the intrusion of bad culture. Again, the gang culture. Gang culture is now is a common scenario in some parts of Dhaka. Okay, and this gang culture is has exported from the Western cultures. So this is called the intrusion of bad culture, and this will be one of the causes of juvenile delinquency. Number eight, aloofness. Okay, aloofness from parents. Okay, the indifference of parents to their children can be one of the causes of juvenile delinquency. So I request all of the parents to give much time on the activities of their children. Okay, otherwise they can be derailed. So these are the causes of juvenile delinquencies in perspective of Bangladesh. Now I'm going to talk about the steps to prevent juvenile delinquency. First of all, spend quality time of parents with basically with their sons and daughters. Okay, so this is the thing. So parents have to spend quality time with their sons and daughters, and they will look after everything about their sons and daughters. Okay. Number two, preventing bad culture. Okay, and we have to take steps to prevent bad culture. Okay, sometimes the any elements of other cultures can destroy our cultures. Okay, and then destroy the mentality of our children. Okay, number three, ensure good socialization process. Okay, basically socialization means a way to know the rules and regulations of a society. Okay, so good socialization process is very important to prevent juvenile delinquency. Here all parents at the same times our society and state will should step in basically should enough steps to ensure the good socialization process for all children of our country. Number four, strict laws imposed by government. Okay. Okay, here government should impose some strict laws to prevent juvenile delinquency, and government should give exemplary punishment who break the laws. Okay, so this is the thing. And number five, make mass awareness. Okay, here print media and electronic media can play important role. Okay, and print media and electronic media will make awareness about the bad effects of the juvenile delinquency to the citizens of our country. And number five, emphasis religious and moral educations. Last but not least. Okay, here I want to share one thing with you. Okay, laws. Okay, uh, laws can control your external behaviors, but religious thinking, okay, religious ideology can control your external behaviors. Okay, so so dear students, this can be one of the steps to prevent juvenile delinquency. Okay, now this is now the we are in the evaluation part. Here I am going to going to ask some questions. You all will be able to give the answer of these questions. Number one, what is, basically here will be is, what is child labor? So again I am going to say what is called the child labor. Child labor means the exploitations of children through any types of work that deprive children from their childhood. Okay, number two, what is juvenile delinquency? So juvenile delinquency means the violations of the laws of the society by the adolescents is 16 for the boys and 18 for the girls. So this is the very basic and very pragmatic definitions of juvenile delinquency. Number three, who are called delinquents? Okay, basically according to the United Nations Conventions on Child Rights, all person age under 18, okay, will be called the adolescent and children also. Okay, and if they break laws of the society, okay, they will be counted as delinquents. And number four, who are children according to the law of Bangladesh, according to Bangladesh Children Act 1974, is under 14 will be counted as children of Bangladesh. So boys, that's all about our today's class. If you have any query, any questions, just put your question in comment box. Okay, and I will give the answer of your queries and questions after the class. So boys, thank you very much for hearing me with your great patience. Okay, next time see you again. Till then, Allah Hafiz.